3, 2, 1.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular, Mystery Reading number 1086. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, if you are a recurring viewer, you enjoy my work and you would like to help support it, feel free to do so by sticking around and hitting the subscribe button down below and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. And if you do feel called to subscribe and stick around, welcome. And thank you very much for your support as well as your presence during this reading. Let me get a drink of water here. So, starting with interpreting the number 1086, the number 1 is about trusting yourself and believing in yourself. What is your intuition telling you? Where or how do you feel guided to use your strength? Especially if in the form of hope or faith. What are you feeling intuitively right now, or in general, about what you believe or what you believe in? Someone here could be exploring their own belief system, religions, spiritual mysticism, and stuff like that. And that could make it all the more important for you to really, really pay attention to your intuition and what really does resonate and what really doesn't. And I just looked down at the timer, I saw the number 234. That's a sign to trust that everything happens for a reason. You are feeling called to explore your beliefs or what to believe for a reason. Things do and don't align with your intuition, your morals, for a reason. There could be a reminder here for somebody that no matter how you show up in this world, in the form of words, actions, art, whatever it is, you will always have an impact on something greater than you. You are always unified with one of two causes. And it doesn't have to be that complicated. The first one can be the greater good of all, or the greater evil. And how you contribute to either side of the aisle, I suppose, really just depends on how you treat yourself. What do you put first? Your own well-being, your own greatest good? Or do you just inflict evil upon yourself, treating yourself in ways that you know you shouldn't be? Talking to yourself in ways especially that you know you shouldn't be, especially if you are, you don't have access to someone or something that you really desire. I really don't think, whatever is being held back from you, I really don't think that it is your fault. At least not entirely. There could definitely be greater forces at play, and you deserve to acknowledge that whatever you're yearning for, whatever feels out of reach, is not at all or entirely your fault. You deserve to allow yourself to see things for what they really are, so you can have peace. And I feel like talking about how it might disturb your peace temporarily, acknowledging the truth, but living under a lie only makes that pain last longer and grow stronger. So would you rather be honest with yourself, be in pain for a little bit, and then find closure? Or be honest with yourself, be stubborn, hold on and be in pain for longer than just a little bit, however long you choose to punish yourself. There could definitely be something here for somebody that is really important for you to find closure from, and it's not something small. It's probably something that has been very painful, no matter how long it's been that you've been carrying this pain. If you've been carrying it for a long time, though, it probably hurts more now than when you first felt it. You know, if you never really let yourself explore these feelings and, figure out what to do with them in a way that works for you rather than against you. I've always loved giving the message that how you feel whenever you have faith in the divine or whatever you believe in, it's not about suppressing your frustration about things outside of your control. It's about acknowledging that frustration and then discerning what is within your control and what isn't. Letting the universe do its part while you just focus on doing yours. I am a strong believer that we really do all have a part to play. And it's all in this big battle or war or whatever you want to call it between good and evil. And I really want to point out, as I've done in readings recently, that evil does not have to be something entirely malicious. Like, for example, when I was talking about inflicting evil on yourself, it could be something as simple as you set a goal for yourself and you don't reach that goal. You don't, stay committed to what you really want, what you really deserve. And that's not to say you need to be perfect. Sometimes you have to give up to, take a step back, reflect, and then come back. So you're not really giving up. We had a lot of messages there with your intuition and your strength. So trust yourself and believe in yourself. I feel that without having faith in yourself, it's going to be really hard to have faith in the universe. The universe and you both play a part. And that's why you shouldn't focus on or dwell so much on what is bigger than you, because that's not your responsibility. It's not your job. The only thing that is your responsibility is what you personally have control over, and that's enough. Especially when you acknowledge that you're not in this fight alone. Speaking more in particular to the fight for the greater good. And I feel that gaslighting yourself into believing that you're alone, you're just contributing to the other side of the aisle that you're trying to, fight against. So have faith, have strength. Well, really, tap into your strength, because it's always there. Choose to have strength. Moving on to the number 0. This number can be about a couple of things. It can be about recurring themes or patterns in the form of spiritual communication, like signs or symbols or messages. Or there can be patterns or reoccurring themes in your own experiences that are trying to show you something that are really worth paying attention to. For somebody here, I am hearing, or I'm feeling, that your ancestors are very present, especially Irish ancestors because I felt connected to the word irlandese, which means Irish in Italian. If you don't already know, if I hear Italian words, it's my own ancestors having messages for me for somebody else's ancestors. So somebody could have Irish ancestors coming through, really wanting you to pay attention to the signs, the messages. What is your intuition telling you? What patterns are you noticing? And are these patterns, are you noticing them out of fear or confidence? If it's out of confidence, that's your intuition. If it's out of fear, that's something else. It could be ego, insecurity, struggling with stability. Just pay attention to your feelings, really, and what they are trying to tell you. Even if it's about fear, what is the fear itself trying to tell you? Is it trying to limit you or genuinely protect you? Do you have some trauma you have to heal from where the alarm bells go off when the false alarm? You do deserve to be more free from your mind, not just your pain, but your fear, for whoever that resonates for. The number 0 can also be a reminder to really know when to put yourself first, when to respect and honor the journey and the relationship that you have with yourself. And this feels like a particularly important message for those of you who resonate with the idea of the fight between good and evil. Putting yourself first, knowing when to put yourself first, respecting and honoring the relationship with yourself, I believe is the core, the root of this fight. I just saw the number 222 on the timer. This number can be about many things. It can be about confirmation of a significant relationship or situation on your mind that may have come up thus far in this reading, or confirmation for you to create more peace and balance and stability within yourself through healing. And it can also be about your choices and prioritizing what means the most to you. And what should mean the most to you is your own well-being, especially if you want to see this world. You want to see a shift in the balance of power from evil to good. Now, it's hard to say how imbalanced the power is between good and evil. Because on one hand, we have all of these people who are good, but it's the evil ones who have the power. Well, the positions of power. Just because you have a position of power, that doesn't mean you have the influence. So it doesn't really matter too much, in my opinion, how big the imbalance is. What matters the most is that you honor that relationship with yourself so you can honor that fight for the good. You deserve good from yourself, not evil. Not doing wrong to yourself, knowing that you deserve better from yourself. And I just peeked quickly at the timer, so number 345. That's another sign. To trust that everything happens for a reason. The relationship with yourself is so powerful for a reason. We all have power individually, but we really don't see it until we come together. So just focus on playing your part and trust that the rest will come. That the things outside of your control will be taken care of. Really, all you have to do is worry about you. It feels like a really strong message here. Moving on to the number 8. That number is about loss and trusting that whatever is lost will be replaced. So whatever or whoever you feel called to walk away from, to trust yourself, believe in yourself, honor the relationship with yourself, trust that will be replaced. Whatever is lost will be replaced. Sometimes when you go on this healing journey, it's going to feel a lot like you're losing a lot of things at first, but that's just because you got to make room. You have to let go of whatever was reinforcing the pain and the instability within you. You have to find new things that reinforce the love and the stability, the peace within you. I saw the number 444 on the timer. That number is really connected to ancestors for me. It is also connected to stability, funny enough. So your ancestors, especially if they're particularly Irish, they don't have to be, but for whoever needs that extra message, your ancestors are really encouraging you to find stability and peace within yourself. The number 222 could really be a significant number for somebody. The last number is the number 6, which is a choice between a commitment to self-love and self-care or self-hate and self-destruction. It's really a reflection of the choice of the commitment to the fight for good, the fight for evil. Loving yourself is spreading love to others. Hating yourself is spreading hate to others. The standards that you set for yourself and how you treat yourself are the same exact standards that you will set in how you're willing to treat others or what you're willing to tolerate from other people. If you have a good, strong, healthy, honest relationship with yourself, no one or anything can take that away from you, that relationship that will always give you so much more than any other relationship. This could be an opportunity for somebody to acknowledge their own power and their own personal decisions and sacrifices that they make on a day-to-day basis. It's really important for you to understand how much bigger this is than you. Adding up these numbers, 1 plus 0 is 1, plus 8 is 9, and 9 plus 6 is 15. I have two messages, number 16, 15 here. 1 plus 5, well no, number 15 itself is connected to the devil card in tarot. And for me personally, I don't see the devil as a physical being. I see it more as a symbol of self-destruction and self-hate and feeling bound and tied to your own fear and materialism, your desires. If you feel trapped in some way, and it can be in more than one way. It could be in your own mind or in your own reality. It can be both. No matter where this feeling of feeling trapped is coming from, that freedom is going to start from within. Letting yourself think, feel, and believe freely. Without judgment towards yourself. Because when you don't judge yourself so harshly, the judgments that other people have towards you that are harsh, they don't hurt as much, if at all. Because nothing keeps you strong like knowing who you are. You deserve to know who you are, and that's what healing is going to give you, really. It's going to give you so much more than just peace and knowing thyself, as they say. It's more than just the so-called war or battle that's bigger than all of us. There really is so much to gain. And so much to lose if you don't choose self-love, self-care. The other message, 1 plus 5 is 6, and that's just confirmation what we already talked about with the number 6, about it being a choice between self-love and self-destruction. And in a spiritual reading, of course, it's going to be encouragement for you to choose self-love and self-care, especially knowing not only how much there is to gain personally, but also collectively. So I really had a lot to talk about there with the number 1086. I didn't expect that to go on for like 20 minutes. But hey, I do believe that those messages have come out for a reason. I do wish I could record my face more, but like I don't have the equipment or anything. So we'll just have to make do with what I have and what I can do. But as you can see, there is a deck of index cards right here, and a box of cards here. Both of these cards are cards that I made myself. If it isn't obvious. And I'm going to start with drawing out one index card, and then I will draw two of these cards here. So let's move this out of the way and see what comes through with this card. Very interesting, very interested to see what comes out with this card. And I looked down at the timer and saw the number 111, which, as we said with the number 1, is about trusting yourself and believing in yourself. And sometimes whenever I see the number 111, it can be a personal sign for me as a reader to trust myself, but it can also be for you too. Just further encouragement and reinforcement to trust yourself, believe in yourself. And I'm going to trust myself that I feel very interested in what's going to come out for this card. I also feel like I got confirmation that there is someone or something inside, outside of you, maybe both, that need to be released. It's what I like to call a spiritual detox. Something, inside or out, is robbing you of your faith, and not just religiously or spiritually, but in yourself and what is possible for you, what you can do, and how this world can work for you, this life, rather than against you. So let's go ahead and draw this index card here. Oh, wow, how fitting. Let me just set this down. I have the card Lucifer, and as soon as I showed it on the camera, I saw number 234 on the timer. Another sign to trust that everything happens for a reason. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you feel like it, but isn't Lucifer a fallen angel? I don't know. For this reading, I'm interpreting it as being connected to the devil, because we all know that interpretation of Lucifer. And so there's a real focus here on feeling trapped, chained, bound, maybe even like a slave, frustrated and exhausted, and maybe you even feel like you're being buried alive, drowning. I feel like there's a lot of suffering in this card, in this reading, within whoever is watching this video. And I hate to hear that, because I know that, it's all too common how many people are suffering in a world that could be anything that we want it to be. Really. That's why it's important for you to acknowledge and respect your own power here, what you do have control over, so you yourself can find peace and also help others do the same. For me personally, with my frustrations, how I have found peace with them, they still come up, of course. How I have found peace with them is doing something bigger than me, investing in something, creating something bigger than myself. So do you feel drawn to or driven by a sense of purpose? If you do, I would trust that and look at your experiences and what you can learn from your own experiences that other people could gain from. Let's go ahead and draw out a couple of cards from this box here. I don't know when this timer is about to go off, or when it's about to stop. We have know the difference when fears are real or illusionary. If it won't kill you, you can keep going. Remember when I was talking a lot about your fears? Number 456, trust that everything happens for a reason. I feel that, whatever you're afraid of is a reflection of whatever you could be free of, obviously. But I mean, feel empowered by. Fear kind of reminds me of frustration. It can be used to create. Just want to make sure that's still recording. Or, create something big, or cause, a lot of destruction, and not in a good way. And I specifically say not in a good way because sometimes we do have to destroy things, break them down to make room so we can build things back up. It feels really, really important for you to reflect on your fears and to, find a solution, figure out how to free yourself from your own mind first and foremost. No matter if this applies both physically and mentally. I did try to start recording this part, but after like almost 2 minutes in, I noticed that it was like glitched or whatever. And that was frustrating because I had to re-record this part. And I saw the number 111, and while I was just now talking about this, I saw the number 111 again. And I just looked down at the timer, 122. It's a number about change starting with you. I was saying before that when it comes to fear, I think the best place to start is trusting and believing that there is a way out. In fact, for somebody here, I feel that there's a way out that could inspire somebody else. Or many other people, depending on, what kind of impact you have. And these people you don't even have to know personally. I just feel that your story, someone needs to hear it, someone needs to see it. They need to see you overcome this. But that's just a bonus, like a perk. Because the person who deserves to see you overcome this the most is yourself. But it can't have a positive impact in the same way on other people. I just saw 222 on the timer, which feels like really powerful confirmation that there is somebody in your life or just out in the world that can benefit from seeing your story and how you found peace and prioritized yourself and whatever you got to do to overcome your own fear and potentially a situation that keeps you feeling trapped, gasping for air. Let's go ahead and look at this last card, which has the number 6 on it, that choice between self-love and self-hate. Says adjust to your needs. You don't have to be hard on yourself. Take care of yourself. I just feel like it's so important for you to be kind to yourself right now. Not only so it'll be easier to overcome this, but also because you don't deserve to feel like you have to wait for peace, for comfort. You can give that to yourself. For me personally, there's just something so comforting about doing self-care. And it can be in any way that it looks like for you. It could be, face washes, playing video games, whatever you feel like you have to do to take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually. Sometimes self-care is just about having fun. So, in what way could you be better taking care of yourself right now that makes it easier for you to overcome your fears or this feeling of being trapped or like a slave to your own mind? What can you do? You gotta stay open-minded. What can you do? An answer, a solution? It really does feel like it is out there, and I believe that it is. And I just saw number 432. Another sign to trust everything happens for a reason.